So my assertion here is that there has been a concerted effort by the media and by other interested parties to make black people think, to make us internalize stupidity. I'm going to say stupidity because I can't think of another word right now to use for that. To make us internalize ignorance when that has never been a black trait in ever until integration of the schools happened. That's when now that we're in their schools, they can paint the narrative of us. They can come up with all these tests that don't make sense. They can come up with all this different grading methods that don't make sense. And now they get to paint the narrative of our standards in the school system. And ever since that point, we have been from there in this 1964 until now. We year over year of the year after year after year, they keep saying we just keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So when we were teaching ourselves, we were up and up and up and up and up and upwardly mobile and progressive and progressing and making strides in our community and making our community better. But since we get into the schools that are supposedly better and better for us, we're going down and down and down and down and down and down and down. How is this possible? I'm going to tell you how. And I'm going to use black boys as my reference point. Because I was a black boy in schools and I know what the hell it was like to have all these white ladies as my teachers. You know, the trick that they did with black people is to make it seem like our gender roles were the same as white people's gender roles. And instead of us correcting it, or instead of us saying, when we got into their system and saying, this is not how we don't run our stuff like this, instead of us saying, let's withdraw and run it our way again, what we did was we just assimilated. We didn't correct it. We just stayed in their system and suffered from it. In the black, especially black American culture, but I'm sure this is black culture globally, our teachers are the storytellers. Historically, our teachers are our fathers. In the white household, because their dads were so absent when it comes to parenting, their teachers were their mothers. So when you get into the white school, it makes sense why everything is run by white women, because that's their culture. Culture and education go together just like learning and education go together. Culture is important in education. In the black community, dads, men are the teachers, the biggest teacher. We're the bigger teachers. Our women are teachers in the public school system. But I'm saying in our culture, men are the teachers. Now, maybe not modern, because we had a breakdown with the family and the structure and the broken families and all these different last couple generations with the dads being gone and stuff like that. But historically, in the black community, black men are the teachers. When desegregation in the schools happened, they pretty much eliminated black male teachers completely. They got rid of almost all the black women teachers too, but they kept a little bit of them. They pretty much got rid of 100% of the black men teachers. They was all gone. Y'all remember when I listed the first black teachers back in the day, when I was going through that Harvard timeline, pretty much all of the first ones were black men. Pretty much all of them. You understand what I'm saying? Why? Because naturally, that's how our culture works. It's because of it's just a culture thing. It don't matter. I don't have to explain it. It's a culture thing. Black men are the teachers in the black community. If you want to see the black community in America, our culture running in disarray, remove the black teacher from the scenario. Remove the black teacher from the household and remove the black teacher from the school building. When I say the black teacher, I mean the cultural black teacher, the black man. Remove us from these two situations and then watch the rest of it fall into place. And that's what happened. Why do we think, and we have perverted our power as teachers because we became wanderers when we left the family. And I'm saying we as black men, the symbol of black men, as we became wanderers in this whole community of America, then we started to find other ways to express our teaching skills. And a lot of that manifested in street business and gang activity, which some people would wonder, how are they so able to get all of these young people to do what they get them to do? It's because the natural teachers are now in the streets. Whereas 80 years ago, these natural teachers would have been at a normal school teaching norms of society, and they would have been teachers. So they so much erased the image of black men from the school education system that people, when people talk about we need more black men teachers now, they act like it's a new thing. They act like this is something we never had before, and we need to try to get black men into being teachers. We got kicked out of the school system when it comes to when integration hit. We got kicked out as the teachers. That's why the group that struggles the most in the school system is black boys. We struggle way more than everybody else. It's not because we have an inability to learn. It's because that whole structure is like it runs perpendicular with our genetics, with our genetic code. It does not work. The white mother cannot be our teacher. Even the black mother has a hard time being black boys' teacher. Maybe it's because of the amount of energy we have. Maybe it's because of the amount of testosterone. Maybe it's because we get a little bit of information and we can blossom it into a lot more quickly. And the black man, it is the part that's missing from the schools. You could have a dad at home, but you're spending 7-8 hours a day at school though. You need black men there too. You don't need one black man there that just handles discipline when a kid gets in trouble. You don't need one black man at the school that only is there to break up fights. You don't need one black man at the school that's just there for gym, or he got a little BS job because he's the basketball coach. That's not what we need black men in. We need black boys. To save black boys in this education system, they need we need a good even split. We need half black women teachers and half black men. That's a good even split. We really probably need more black men teachers, but just to keep it clean, we need a good even split. And I'm telling y'all, that right there, I believe, is and this is not to say that white women can't teach. I'm not saying they can't teach. I'm saying they are not equipped to teach black boys. They don't care to teach black boys. That's not where their strength lies. Their strength does not lie in adaptive learning. That's not, their way of teaching is there's one way to teach. And if you can't learn like this, then you fail and get out. That's the only way they know how to teach. We have enough evidence now. It's been 70 years almost. It's been 60 years this year. We have enough evidence now. They have one way of teaching. And it's detrimental to the way black boys learn overall. Okay? It's not cool. We are sinking in a hole. Now we're starting to restore some of the black family and get some of the, even if I know y'all don't like where the marriage numbers are at, but as far as the dads being involved in the household, we are restoring some of that. But the symbol of the black dad also needs to be back in the schools, and not just, like I said, not just one or two. We need mass influx. And now, how do you even convince black men to go teach now? They kicked us out, demonized us in the school system when we was kids. And now they underpaying them, and you want us to go do that instead of doing something that pays more. See, they kicked us out at such a pivotal time in American history to where it's almost like it don't even really, if a black man is going back into teaching now, like in mass numbers, if black men go back into teaching in mass numbers now, it's like charity work for real. It's like you had to do it out of the kindness of your heart. And that's going to breed resentment. So really, we're in a situation, and I'm not just telling black men to go become teachers. I'm saying this is why we are in the situation that we're in when it comes to school art, the way we perform in schools, black boys perform in schools. and the way that the entire community looks when you don't have that type of guidance. This is not, we don't need them in there. So just in case, when they get rowdy, you can rough them up. That's what they want black men in schools doing now. You straighten them out, like shake them up a little bit, scare him so he'll stop doing what he's. That's not what black men don't need to be there just to be disciplinarians. I'm talking about teaching methods. See, they try to strip that from us. Black men are the teachers. When they talk about protect and provide also includes when the child goes out of the house, to make sure that they have all the information to equip them so that they can survive and so they can do everything. Where do you think they was getting that from? The black dad was giving them that information. Supposed to. That black man was giving them that information. And normally you could tell when somebody don't have a black dad because of the way that we move around out here. And that's not just a now thing. I'm talking about go back as far as you want to go back. When they talk about Emmett Till, do they ever say what Emmett Till's dad was doing? They only talk about his mom, don't they? He was unprotected out there in that world. I never heard nobody say anything about Emmett Till's dad. Listen, this is just something that's near and dear to me. Okay. I was a black boy that had many run-ins with white women teachers. They didn't like me. A lot of them did. Some of them did, but most of them, they just used to kick me out of class. And this is the thing. It's one thing to get kicked out of class, right, and get sent to the principal or whatever like that. They used to do something more diabolical. These teachers would kick me out of class and make me go stand in the back of classes that were like a lower level of education than the class I was in. So when I was in gifted, they would make me go to so the teacher would have a friend that works in another part of the school. They'd make me go stand in her friend's class in the back of the class and get slow. So it's like the punishment for me was to go dumb me down or something like that. Or go put me around kids that wasn't on my intellectual level. And never call my mom, never say, hey, he's being bad in school, never report to the principal, hey, he acting up. It's to demoralize. Now, I wasn't even allowed to sit down. I'm in somebody else's class. None of these people in here know me, and I got to stand up in that class, in the back. That was what I dealt with in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade with these people. You see what I'm saying? That was just part of it. So you got to, and I'm not just saying that this is not, people might not do the exact same thing as me, but it's not just me. There's people all over the country that have similar issues with teachers. You see what I'm saying? I shout out to the South because they have so many black male teachers. They don't have enough, but they have a lot more than up north. I didn't have none. You know what I'm saying? I had one black male substitute teacher. He was a sub, so he would come in sometimes. That was the only black male teacher I had, a substitute.